Global affairs, strategy, technology, power.
Hello friends, this is our next video in Geopolitics Digest. In this video, I'm going to clarify the heightened geopolitical tensions in recent times between China and Taiwan and which country belongs to whom. This is a major controversy occurring through decades. Now, there's a long history behind that. So before starting that, let me give you a history of China. China was initially, there was an empire ruling China, or rather say dynasty ruling China. That was known as the Qing dynasty in China. See, I'm writing here. Qing dynasty in China. It ruled between 1636 to 1912. Now, at the end, during the end years, in the 1890s, what happened is that the dynasty became largely unstable, and Japan, as a rising colonial power during that era, saw it a very important opportunity, a very nice opportunity to capture some lands of China as Japanese colonies. So, first Sino-Japan War. Now, China is known as Sino-Japan War started in 1894, ended 1895. Now, owing to the disability of China to defend itself, Japan captured Taiwan, the Korean Peninsula, which is now divided into North and South Korea, and some parts of the eastern coast of China. Okay, so after that, in 1912, a revolutionary leader came, whose name was Sun Yat-sen, who in 1912 established the Kuomintang Party. This party was launched by Sun Yat-sen in order to unify China as a one, that is Republic of China. Now, what happened is that after the death of Sun Yat-sen, the party divided into two parts. One, that is the Kuomintang Party, divided into two parts. One is the Nationalist Party, and the other one is Nationalist Party, a part of the Kuomintang Party, and the other one was CCP, that is Chinese Communist Party. This was led by Chinese Communist Party was led by Mao Zedong, whereas the Nationalist Party was led by Chiang Kai-shek. Now, what happened is that Chiang Kai-shek, the leader of the Kuomintang Party, thought to rule over the entire China, and China should be governed with, according to him, China should be governed with nationalistic values, that's such as democratic ideals, based on democratic ideals, and people should be able to elect their own ruler. And on the other side, the CCP, Chinese Communist Party, opposed this. Mao Zedong said that no, China should be entirely ruled by Chinese Communist Party, and common people should be debarred from the right to vote their leader. Some few people should be present at the center, ruling every zone of China. That is very centralized power. What happened is that growing disinterest between these two parties led to a conflict known as the Great Shanghai Massacre. I am calling it great because actually it was very horrific, not great. It is an irony to call it great, but it was great because many people died in that massacre, where Chiang Kai-shek ordered the Nationalist Party to launch attacks on the Communist Party. It took place in this small city of Shanghai. What happened is that the Nationalist Party leaders and members attacked the Communist Party members, and they massacred their families. They raped their women openly. They brutally killed their children in barbaric ways possible. And this was the most barbaric massacre in China in that era, during that time period. So this led to the Shanghai massacre lead to the continuation. As a continuation, it led to the civil war in China, which continued from 1927 till 1950. Now, what happened is that both CCP and Nationalist Party had common value of unifying China and strengthening it, but they differed in their ideologies. Now, what happened? It again got weakened due to the continuous civil war. Now, from 1927 to 1927, continuous civil war has weakened China internally very much. Now, on seeing this as an opportunity, Japan again planned to take over some lands. Now, in 1931, during the first, it attacked and it captured Manchuria. This is Manchuria, a large chunk of land of China, Manchuria, and captured Manchuria and set up a puppet government. China lost a huge land. Now, what happened is that these both party came to a decision that before resolving their internal conflict, they should fight unitedly to counter Japan. Now, Second Sino-Japan War started in 1937. Japan War started in 1937 till 1945. It ended in 1945 because we all know that the famous atomic bombing of the infamous atomic bombing of the Japanese cities Hiroshima and Nagasaki after Japan attacked Pearl Harbor. Japan lost the Second World War, and what happened is that Japan after getting defeated, it weakened. So control of Japan over this Manchuria, eastern coastal regions, and Taiwan and the Korea resolved. Now this became independent. Korea divided into two parts, North and South Korea, and as we go later on, you can see that. Now what happened is that this Manchuria got freed from Japan. China took over this, and all those freed regions of China were took over by China, and this Taiwan also part. Now what happened is that after the loss of regions and China regained these territories, now the Chinese Communist Party very secretly, the CCP, very secretly took help from the USSR. During that time, the USSR was ruling Russia. Took help from the USSR to overrule the Nationalist Party of the Kuomintang Party, to overrule this. Now this became the ruler of China. Now what happened? These Nationalist Party members got concentrated in a very small region along the eastern coast, in the lower part of China. Now in 1948, the CCP took control of entire China. Now, after taking control of entire China in 1949, the people of the Nationalist Party were forced to retreat to Taiwan along with Chiang Kai-shek. Now, in this separate island, Taiwan was previously known as Formosa, and which then changed to Taiwan. Now two sections arrived. One is the mainland China ruled by CCP and Taiwan ruled by Nationalist Party. Both of them now has independent policies. One, that is one China policy. The interesting part is that the one China policy designed by CCP in mainland China is that, according to that policy, mainland China and Taiwan are People's Republic of China, are one, and that is People's Republic of China. And according to one China policy by Taiwan, it's Taiwan and China are the same, and it's Republic of China. There's only a difference of a word, that is people's. One is Republic of China, another one is People's Republic of China. This is People's Republic of China, this is Republic of China. This government thinks that this is also his. This government thinks this is also his. That's the funda here. So, any country who vows to do trade with China has to sign this one China policy, which is debatable. Now, after getting independent, after getting complete control over China by CCP, the UN recognized Taiwan till 1971. But after the Indian ruler, the first Prime Minister of India, Jawaharlal Nehru, opposed this, that China is not Taiwan is not mainland China, therefore mainland China should be recognized. And after that it got recognition and got a permanent seat in the UN. Better to say, Jawaharlal Nehru sacrificed the permanent member seat in UN for of India for China. Now that's a great loss for our nation, or my nation. And we Indians still regret this move by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. Now let us talk about some economic differences of these. Now, Taiwan being very small, still it has a leverage in the semiconductor industry. 60% of the semiconductor chips are of the world are designed by Taiwan. Here Taiwan has the monopoly. This small region has this monopoly. Taiwan dominates semiconductor market. Now, recent times the world is supporting Taiwan in order to counter China's expansionist policies. They consider Taiwan as an independent country, and the US openly supports Taiwan against China. They say that Taiwan is an independent country and should not be overtaken by any rival. For the only threat to Taiwan, as Taiwan thinks and the other world thinks, and or the Western world thinks, this China, because China may capture Taiwan and use it as a leverage to the semiconductor industry, and it should use it as a weaponize the semiconductor industry. Now, what happened is that during the Nancy Pelosi visit, when the ship of Nancy Pelosi entered Taiwan, the Chinese naval forces, they created a similar blockade-like situation, and they created targets along the Taiwan, and they kept on hitting the targets near Taiwan, and the ship of Nancy Pelosi was there. Now, this kind of heightened geopolitical tensions always remain between China and Taiwan, and China always tries to flex its muscles to scare away Taiwan, and its allies like mainly the US. Now, some time ago, during the presidency of Joe Biden, what happened is that he in an unplanned way, sent some US naval forces to Taiwan. Now, during that time, China was also sending its naval forces. Now, there was a face-to-face movement. Now, this was considered not a planned thing, so this was not considered as a good move by the US. Now, that was the history of China and Taiwan. Now you decide Taiwan is whose part, or it's independent. Please say me in the comments. I hope you like this video, and I think that you are very patient with me till the end of the video, and I guarantee you that if you listen this video more than twice, you will have a good knowledge of this conflict, and you will be very, instead of scrolling reels in YouTube, you will get a very deep knowledge about the relationship of China and Taiwan. Now, you may be thinking that my English was getting stuck many times. Yes, it's true. It was because I didn't write about the script. I just drew the map and sat in front of you to explain the present situation between China and Taiwan, having an historical context. And hence, please forgive my English, because I'm trying to improve this. And what happened is that as I have not prepared the script, I had to say it randomly. I had to make it in my mind and kept on saying it is like a live explanation I'm giving it to you. And therefore, without any structure, my English is getting stuck. Had gotten stuck many times in this video. So I would apologize for that, and I hope you like my video, and I will keep on explaining similar geopolitical topics of interest and importance for many of our viewers. And I hope so that you like this video, and I also hope that this video finds you in your good health. Thank you for supporting.